Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE. So today I've got a huge discount on the sharpshooters. So the sharpshooters are a fully plug and play arcade rail shooter gun kit. Now these aren't light guns, the fixed rail shooter guns. So if you've ever been in the arcades and seen the cabinets like Aliens Extermination, those guns are from that machine. So there's a wide range of collection of games on these builds. So you've got all your arcade classics, all your new arcade stuff as well, and a ton of stuff like the PS2, which is all HD remastered as well as the Nintendo Wii, Sega model stuff, all that sort of cool stuff. So we've got a discount code which is gun250, all lowercase GUN 250. That's 250 quid off. That's a massive, massive, massive discount. Obviously, these machines aren't cheap to start with. These machines, like I say, have high-end hardware inside them. So you've got a Ryzen 5 CPU, 16 gig of DDR4 RAM, an RTX 4060 graphics card for that 4K support on these units, and a terabyte M.2 SSD. Now, what I'll do is it should flip around. So with the builds, you can also go ahead and purchase Krisscoolmods light gun beast drive. Now, like I say, these systems here come with fixed gun kits. So light gun games do work on it, but if you want true the light gun feel, you can plug in the gun for IR, the Wii controller kit, the aim track guns. I think Blamcom is supported on these as well as what's the other guy? He just messaged us the other day as well. My brain, I tell you, it's not with it. But it supports all types of light guns other than Sinden. Sinden is a nightmare with the borders and stuff like that to set up and have run side by side with other guns for other systems. So with Krisscoolmods drive, you can plug his drive in, load his system from my system, and then use other guns. And he has a massive, massive collection of other titles as well. If you want plug and play drives as well, if you just want a gaming PC with plug and play arcade games and game drives, I do recommend you check out Krisscoolmods Retro Beast stuff. He does some amazing stuff. We have actually partnered up with Krisscoolmods, and his drives work alongside my arcade drives. So I have a 48 terabyte build, which is one partition is Krisscoolmods partition, which is his Xbox stuff. Xbox 360 stuff, and then I have the extra 40 terabytes on my system. And then once you upgrade it to the full 48 terabyte with my system, you can go ahead and purchase Krisscoolmods drives and upgrade your system all the way up to 128 terabytes currently. It is going up to, I think, 160 terabytes. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. So massive, massive drives. Crazy stuff. But with the sharpshooters, like I say, we have a huge discount. That I'm going to run that for a month for upcoming Christmas. Now, we have had a lot of delays. You're not likely to get a machine by Christmas if you order now. Unfortunately, just because of the lead time, delays with the new business, stuff like that, it has held us right up. So I'm going to try and get what orders I can done, finished, and ready for the Christmas orders and stuff. And then if you wish to purchase, you're looking at around a 18 to 20 week build period, maybe a few weeks more due to the delays we have had the past few months. So like I say, if you wish to purchase one of our sharpshooters, we do have videos up. I do recommend you go and check those out. They come with true recoil and simulated recoil. So what that means is inside the guns they have a 24 volt power supply. A solenoid. And inside the units they have 24 volt power supplies. And these solenoids are strong. They're extremely strong and loud. So if you've ever been in the arcades and you hear that rat-a-tat-tat-tat, that's those solenoids. They're really, really loud. But it's such a great experience. Being able to have that arcade sound and feel in your home is just outstanding. It is. That's what I love the arcades for. That's what I love arcade shooters for, especially the rail shooters, which are fixed guns. Good morning, J Rod, dude. So yeah, these have 24-volt power supplies in, so you get that full recoil. Now with true recoil and simulated recoil, true recoil is the recoil that's encoded into the game. So as you pull the trigger, it'll shoot. If it's a rapid fire gun, it'll shoot rapid fire, and so on. So we use a bit of software called MaimHooker. Basically what that does is it hooks on to the gun's ID, and it tells the gun basically, hey, this is how many times you should shoot. But with simulated recoil, it's me telling the gun to say, hey, if I'm pressing the Y or U or R, whatever key that I'm pressing, I want you to shoot so many times. I want that input to shoot so many times. So that's what simulated recoil is. And it works extremely well for single shot games, because when you pull the trigger, it shoots, it recoils, and you don't have to do anything. You don't need true recoil, because the simulated recoil is nigh on perfect. Some games have a slight double tap when you pull the trigger. So as you pull the trigger, it'll be tap, 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 so on. So when you're in arcades and you're pulling the trigger, I think House of the Dead does that. And then obviously you have rapid fire simulated recoil. So what I tell the system is, hey, every time I press the trigger or hold the trigger, I want it to fire at a certain rate. So if it's a slow rapid fire or a quick rapid fire, I want that rapid fire, the recoil, to shoot at that rate. So that's what true recoil and simulated recoil is. And more games are being supported with true recoil. Even the PS2 stuff, which should have never had the code in the game. Hey, Josie, is it Jose or Josie? I'm terrible with names. Hey, dude. Yeah, so basically, with, what was I saying? I've lost track. I was talking about the rapid fire. Bloody hell. So basically, every time I pull the trigger, the recoil will rapid fire at a certain rate. So certain games have certain... Oh, that's what it was, how PS2 stuff. Sorry. So the PS2 stuff is encoded with the actual true recoil, which you wouldn't think they would have even bothered putting that in, especially on a PS2 game, because it didn't have guns that recoiled on the PS2. But it is hard encoded in the game. Now, me and Krisscoolmods sat there and got all the true recoil working and stuff like that for the PS2 stuff. So it's awesome. It's true recoil. The best true recoil game I come across was one of the new games, which isn't really an arcade game. It's a PC shooter, but that also has true recoil. Is Operation Wolf Returns. It's just so well made. So well made. So that's the recoil. Also on these machines, you have a display on the back of the gun. Now, I can configure that display to say how many bullets is in the gun that I want it to shoot. So as I'm shooting and the bullets count down, I can have the bullets count down and tell you how many bullets are left in your gun. Or if it's a game like House of the Dead and you're not counting the bullets, you want to count how many lives you've got. The display, I can set the display. Each time you get hit, a life gets taken away, and it counts down each time your life's taken away, or how many continues, and so on. There's loads of stuff you can do with these. Obviously, I send them all pre-configured. So the fully 4K units, that's why we're only dealing with high-end hardware. And to be honest, I don't want to be building lower-end stuff. It's really, really not with my time. Know what I mean? To save people a few quid, and do lower end stuff, it's not worth my time. I always like to use the same hardware as well if I can, especially me higher end stuff. I use the same hardware. That way, I I'm not going to run into an issue further down the line. So, and your machine's going to last. So if there ever is an issue, I can look at that issue and be, hey, I know what's wrong. If I start changing the hardware and messing on with the hardware, I'm going to come across issues I've never seen before. So that's why I stick with high-end hardware, the current high-end hardware, and I always do my tests as I change, if I need to change hardware, anything like that. Now, obviously, with these builds, there are small form factor build. Obviously, this one's wrapped up and that one's in its box, but the actual unit comes off the pedestals. You can buy the unit for 2,500. Obviously, with our discount code, you're saving a 250 quid. 250 quid is a lot of money. What's that in dollars? That's like $300 saving. You know what I mean? And that's coming straight out of my profit. So I'm offering my customers that huge discount. But we do build pedestals. I've explained before, the pedestals we build don't come cheap. The cost it cost me to get the wood cut, because I haven't got a big enough place to run my own CNC. But what it cost me for the wood and everything, I don't make a lot of profit on the pedestals themselves. They aren't cheap. A lot of my customers just buy the main unit. And like I say, they're a small form factor build. They come with mini ITX motherboard, stuff like that, and high-end decent hardware. So basically, you can just remove it off the pedestal, plug it into your TV. Kids want to play it, just drag it into their room, plug it into the TV, off you go. There's no messing on with these builds. Now, like I say, that's why I've decided to build these, is because there's small form factor. If you've watched my channel before, you can see my arcade control panel builds. They're the same, high-end hardware. The smallest control panel you'll get at that performance. There's no one out there that's building a high-end gaming PC at that size, a 2-player control panel, fully plug and play, at that size, at that performance. You've got an RTX 4060 graphics card, you've got the Ryzen 5 CPU. We're now also putting full 32 terabytes internally into those machines. So I've come up with some custom mounts, because I have a laser cutter upstairs. I do a lot of laser design stuff, and I create loads of different products. I have done over the years with my laser cutter. Now, I've made some custom mounts for inside, so it can mount the hard drives, the two 16 terabytes, internally inside the control panels now. So there's no need for the 32 terabyte to be on an external drive. Obviously, when it's internal as well, the drive reads that slightly bit faster. So load time, stuff like that on certain games is quick. Majority of the 32 terabyte stuff is absolutely fine on USB 3.0. There's a high-speed 3.0 port on the back of the units as well. They all come with Wi-Fi as well. So all my arcades come with Wi-Fi. So if there's a problem with your shark shooter or your control panel, I can connect to your machine, and I can take a look, see what's happening with the software. If it's hardware problem, I've sat there hours. I've sat there till 3 o'clock in the morning going through problem solving, stuff like that. You know, it's this service. You pay a lot of money for these machines. If something goes wrong during shipping or something's not right, I'm happy to sit there hours on end to make sure it's sorted. You're not left scratching your head. So obviously, with the shark shooters, there is a collection of games on there that does require Patreon. Now, I think 2-3 months back, there was a collection of Patreon games, quite a lot of collection of Patreon games. Now there's a lot less. So games like Aliens Armageddon, Terminator Salvation, I think a couple others I can't think off the top of my head. All those are out Patreon now. The subscription through TechnoParrot isn't much anyways. I think, what's the games? I think Ghostbusters is in Patreon. Transformers is out of Patreon, that's standalone. So you don't have to pay for a Patreon for Transformers Shadows Rising, I believe. But like I say, these guys at TechnoParrot, they do need support. You know what I mean? They do a lot of work in the background for nothing, basically. So a slight subscription fee is is worth it at the end of the day. I think it's something like $6 or something like that a month. But that gives you access to play just a handful of games. But majority of the best titles, my favourite titles on the Shark shooters, is the Deadstone Pirates game, the Transformers game, the rail shooter games. Because a lot of the new arcade shooters I love. Know what I mean? And most of the new arcade shooters are rail shooter games. So I'll get a lot of comments at times about, oh, they're not true, light guns are better. And that's fine. You know, each has their, has their, what's the word? Each to their own, basically. So, yeah, with light guns, there is games like House of the Dead, Time Crisis, stuff like that will always work better with a light gun. That's why we offer, with these machines, best of both worlds. So we offer Krisscoolmods Drive. You can plug Krisscoolmods Drive into the system. You can then plug in your light gun of choice. And then if you want to play true rail shooter games, you just literally load onto my system and play true rail shooter games. And rail shooter games compared to light gun games, rail shooter games to me is better. I like them, I prefer them. But I do also like to be able to point at the screen, shoot and hit my target that I'm aiming at. But obviously with games like Deadstone Pirates and Transformers, those games are true rail shooter games. You can't beat playing with a true rail shooter gun. It's as simple as that. So on these systems there's around 400, I think 450 on the system. Now some of those games within MAME itself are disabled because of repeats of, say, Terminator 2, stuff like that. So you have alternate versions on there. Now you can unlock those versions if you want and play the different alternate versions. To me, it's not worth playing those, because if you've got the one version of it, that's usually the best version of it that's on there. But there is alternate versions, so it's around 400 and odd titles. But then with those disabled, you've got around 300 plus. And it's counting. We're always adding more stuff. Now, with these units as well, you're getting free updates and everything else. Now, obviously, I have got a lot of customers, and I do build other machines, and I have other front ends, where you have my main front ends. So it's always worth buying an upgrade drive. We do offer an upgrade drive for these units. So if I ever do an update my end, you can send your drive back to us, your upgrade drive. I can update that, then send the drive back, and then you can just reclone your system. Now, on each one of my machines, all have cloning software, have Photoshop, stuff like that. So if you wanted to add your own games, there's sites like Gun Lunatics is perfect Facebook page to go to if you want to find out what new games there is, if you don't want to wait for me. So the option is there to add your own stuff as you go along. Obviously, if I've done an update and you've added other stuff on your system, it's going to get confusing if you do send a drive back to me for updating, because then you're going to lose your config and you're going to get mine. So if you've added other stuff that I haven't come across, then you're going to lose that stuff. But like I say, we do offer that upgrade drive, and it's all free upgrades. I'm not charging you for those upgrades, but obviously my time, especially on a night time, I don't mind helping you out. All my customers will tell you, that's why I've got 5-star reviews. I'm always there if you need us, and I always take time out of my personal time to help people out, even if it's stuff that I'm not responsible for, like adding games, stuff like that. For years, I'm always there to help someone out. You know what I mean? Just give us a shout, we'll arrange a time and we'll sort something out. But that's why the idea of the upgrade drives best for me. It means then you can just send your drive back. You can still use your machine. There's no having to mess on with the machine, waiting for me to send a drive back and you're not being able to use your machine. And then once you get your upgrade drive back, I'll just sit down, guide you through how to clone it. So I'll jump on a call and I'll show you how to clone your upgrade drive to your main drive. And then I'll go through, do my tests. I always go through, do tests with you and stuff to make sure everything's working right. So these kits, like I say, they're not the cheapest. So we've got a massive discount for you. Okay. But like I say, you're getting high-end hardware. And just to show a bit of background with me, I've got customers going back 4 years, and I still help those customers out. Know what I mean? And those machines are still working. So you're not left in the dust because you're not a customer. So even if your software is outdated, I do offer to try and upgrade with you. Know what I mean? So, and always keep on my case. If you need a hand, you give us a shout. It's as simple as that. And yes, I'll get more busier and busier by the day. I'm running 2 businesses, but I'm always there, happy to help people out. So yeah, if, like I say, if you wish to purchase one of these, you can email us at dean@sharkade.co.uk. If you've got any questions on them, anything like that, just hit us up. Okay. But I've got this unit to finish wrapping. I've got a custom crate to build for this unit. I've got the Rambo one all packaged, ready to go. So I've got to sit down tonight with a customer, arrange the shipping of that. I should be expecting this collected tomorrow, I believe. So that's all sorted now. And then I've got this one as well, which is to the same customer as that one. So these 2 units, this is the Jurassic Park one, I believe. And that's a Deadstone Pirates build. So those 2 are going off to the same customer. But yeah, just make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos. Like I say, it is going to be a limited time offer. I'm going to give it a month, let it run a month. So yeah, grab it while you can. 250 quid is a massive, massive saving in my eyes. It's 10% basically of the unit. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.